Okay guys, I am so excited for today's reaction. We are moving on to the next Pink Floyd album, which is Animals. I cannot express how excited I am about this, so without further ado, let's just begin. This is Pigs on the Wing 1.
If you didn't care, what happened to me? And I didn't care. But you, we would zigzag away through the bottom of pain, occasionally glancing up through the rain, wondering which of the brothers to blame. And watching for pigs on the wing.
Okay guys, just quickly before I do hop into the next song, I do just want to say that I like to sometimes talk in between the songs, do a little bit of a debrief to digest the song, have a look at some of the cool facts about it. So if that's not your thing, feel free to click off the video. But what a short and sweet song. I don't recognise the vocalist in this. I wonder if it's a different band member that's singing, because I feel like I don't recognise the singer. So on Spotify, we've got the beta up here, but it says here, Pigs on the Wing 1 kicks off Pink Floyd's album Animals with a simple acoustic tune that's quite different from the rest of the album's heavier tracks. Now that makes me intrigued. Roger Waters wrote this song as a love note to his new wife, Carol Christie. It's a rare moment of tenderness in an album that's mostly a critique of society. Oh! Okay, I'm really intrigued now. The title of this song plays on the phrase "when pigs fly," suggesting something impossible. This ties into the album's theme where pigs symbolise those in power. God damn. The image of a flying pig became iconic for Pink Floyd, even appearing on the album cover and in their live shows. So, oh wow, I didn't even notice that. There's literally a pig. If you look here, let's get this up. There's literally a pig there. Wow, that's a really subtle detail actually, because it's actually quite a nice picture. And then there's just this here in the corner. I never even realised that. That's so cool. On the 8-track tape version of Animals, Pigs on the Wing, parts 1 and 2 were combined into a single track with a guitar solo connecting them. This solo was played by Snowy White, who later joined Pink Floyd as a touring guitarist. This unique version isn't on the standard album, but can be found on Snowy White's compilation album Gold Top. I'd be interested to listen to that. During the photo shoot for the Animals album cover, which featured a giant inflatable pig flying over Battersea Power Station, the pig broke free and floated into the sky, causing disruptions to air traffic over London. The incident added to the album's lore and the pig symbolism in Pink Floyd's imagery. Okay, damn, that's actually pretty cool. Something I noticed just before listening to this, the album's obviously called Animals, and with a quick look at the titles of the songs, they're all just animal names. So yeah, a little detail which it took me a moment to notice actually. But without further ado guys, let's just hop into Dogs. This song is 17 minutes long. That's crazy. I'm excited. The acoustics of the guitar are gorgeous in this.
Have a real
Oh, yeah.
Points for style, like a club tie and the firm handshake, a sudden look in the eye, and an easy smile. You have to be
Oh, there's an
trusted
organ there.
by the people that you lie to, so that when they turn their backs on you, you'll get the chance to put the knife
Oh. God damn.
You gotta keep running, looking over your shoulder. You know it's gonna get harder, harder, harder as you get older. Yeah, and in the end you'll pack up, fly down south, hide your head in the sand. Just another sad old man, all alone, dying of cancer.
Huh. Oh, the bass. Oh, that's cool. The dog's barking in the back. Damn.
slows and turns to stone. And it's too late to lose the weight you used to need to throw around.
That's so funky.
So have a good drown as you go down all alone, dragged down by the stone.
Those synths. That kick has so much echo to it. Sound. Oh. Sounds like the dog's barks had like a synth on them added or something, like sampled. Wow, what's that?
gotta admit that I'm a little bit confused. Sometimes it seems to me as if I'm just being used. Gotta stay awake, gotta try and shake off this creeping malaise. If I don't stand my own ground, how can I find my way out of this maze? Deaf, dumb, and blind, you just keep on pretending that everyone's expendable and no one has a real friend. And it seems to you the thing to do would be to isolate the winner. Everything's done under the sun, and you'll believe what heart everyone's a coward.
Oh my god, I've got goosebumps. Who was born in a house full of pain? Who was trained not to spit in the fan? Who was told what to do by the man? Who was broken by trained personnel? Who was fitted with collar and chain? Who was given a pat on the back? Who was breaking away from the pack? Who was only a stranger at home? Who was ground down in the end? Who was found dead on the pond? Who was trapped down by the stone? Who was struck down by the stone? Wow. Okay, I am actually I'm speechless. There was just so much in there to like unpack and look at. First of all, the fact that that song is 17 minutes to me feels mind-blowing. Like, I don't feel like I've just sat and listened to something that's 17 minutes long. I feel like I've listened to like a, I don't know, maybe it's like a 5 or 6 minute song. A little bit on the longer end, but definitely not 17 minutes. I'm just, yeah, I'm fully speechless. I loved that there was like an organ there, and even it sounded like the organ got its own little like solo piece. The guitars in that, I mean, from the previous song and in this song, the acoustic guitars just sound so crisp. They sound so good. I mean, like, what year is this made again? Like, this the 70s. Like, that's crazy to me. I don't know. Like, even from the lyrics, I feel as though there's a lot to unpack. The way that I perceive these lyrics is dogs is a representation of, you know how when you can go to like different countries, how there can sometimes be like a lot of just like stray dogs just sort of roaming the streets. That's kind of how I've perceived what Pink Floyd is talking about here. But it feels as though Pink Floyd is sort of having a go at the authorities and sort of asking questions like, why have you let people live like this? And I feel like, especially towards the end with all of the questions here, to me these questions feel very rhetorical, in the sense of, I feel as though it's the authoritative figure who was asking themselves these questions back on themselves. And to me, the way that the authority figure was treated as a child and how they grew up is the reason as to why they are that way today, if that makes sense. That is kind of the perception and the picture that I got from this. I could be totally off, which is why I like to have a look at the Spotify stuff for, because it actually explains a lot of the things. But wow, I loved even like the subtle effect of the dogs barking in the background. You know, I mean, they've called the album Animals, and just to have something so subtle that you would hear almost every day of just dogs barking, to me was really cool. I even felt at one part as though they'd sort of distorted the dogs barking and almost put it onto a synth, so that the dogs were having like a very different pitches to how they were barking. Yeah, sorry, I'm like literally blown away by this. Like, fully just can't believe what I've just listened to kind of thing. Let's have a little look on Spotify though, what has been said. So, in the middle section of Dogs, the band used a vocoder to process the sound of barking dogs, creating an unsettling robotic effect. Oh, this must be what I'm on about, yeah. This innovative use of technology added to the song's dystopian feel and showcased Pink Floyd's willingness to experiment with new sounds to enhance their storytelling. Yeah, like I say, such a subtle detail, and yet it adds so much more to the song. The song's lyrics paint a vivid picture of the cutthroat world of business, using dogs as a metaphor for ruthless businessmen. Lines like, "You gotta be able to pick out the easy meat with your eyes closed," highlight the predatory nature of these individuals, emphasizing themes of betrayal and the emptiness that comes with such a lifestyle. Yeah, if anyone's watched Wolf of Wall Street, that sort of cutthroat business person approach thing is very much portrayed in that movie. Dogs is the only track on Animals where David Gilmour shares writing credits with Roger Waters. Gilmour's contribution is especially prominent in the song's intricate guitar solos, which he played on a Fender Telecaster. Oh man, I love Telecasters, they're so gorgeous. Instead of his usual Strat, giving the solos a distinct tone that stands out on the album. Yeah, I think that's something that's really fascinating, how different guitars have different tones. Even just like something as simple as the wood that the guitar's made of can make the tone of the guitar sound really different. The eerie dog sounds in the song aren't just for show, they're actually recordings of a real dog named Seamus. Hi Seamus, who've previously sang on Pink Floyd's track Seamus from the album Medal. Seamus was known for howling along with music, and the band decided to incorporate his vocals into their recordings, adding a unique haunting layer to their sound. Damn, that's actually so cool, and that's actually really cute. Unfortunately, Seamus will definitely not still be alive now. I don't know any dogs who are, like, I don't know, 50 years old. That's sad. Before it became Dogs, the song was known as You've Got to Be Crazy and was part of Pink Floyd's live set in 1974. The original version was faster and in a higher key, but the band slowed it down and lowered the pitch to better suit the vocals of David Gilmour and Roger Waters. This transformation allowed them to hit the notes more comfortably and gave the track its distinctive brooding atmosphere. I'm still fully just in awe at the fact that that song is so long and it just doesn't feel like it. I think also as well, something that makes me just my mind blown is how many plays this really long song has. I mean, there's not even many albums nowadays that can come out where a song will hit 81 million plays. And the fact that this is almost 20 minutes long as well, and it has that many plays is insane. Anyways, enough of the chitter-chatter. Let's hop in to track number 3, Pigs. 3 different ones. Interesting title. Wow.
Big man, pig man, ha ha, charade you are. Woo! You well-heeled pig wheel, ha ha, charade you are.
Oh.
But when your hand is on your heart, you nearly a good love, almost a juggler. Head down in the pig pens.
Cool vocal effects.
Keep on digging. Pig stay on your flat chin. Although you're ultra fine. Down in the pig mine. You're nearly alive. You're nearly alive, but you really cry. Bust up rat bed. Charade you are. You fucked up old head. Charade you are.
The bass in this is naughty.
You radiate cold shafts of broken glass. You're nearly a good life, almost with a quick grin. You're like a field of steel. You're hot stuff with a hat pin. A good feel with a handgun. You're nearly alive. You're nearly alive, but you really ain't crying.
That synth is so epic.
Hey, you White House, ha ha, charade you are. You house proud town mouse, ha ha, charade you are. You're trying to keep our feelings off the street. You're nearly a real treat. On train lips and cold feet. I knew you'd feel abused. You got to stem the evil tide and keep it on the inside. Bury you nearly a treat. Bury you nearly a treat, but you're really a cry.
Wow. This is Sheep. I'm gonna let it continue through. This is Pigs on the Wing too.
You know that I care. What happens to you? And I know that you care. For me too. So I don't feel alone on the way to the stone. Now that I've found somewhere safe to bury my bones. And any fool knows a dog needs a home. A shelter from pigs on the wing.
Wow, I don't even know what to say. That was absolutely incredible. Like, I'm still just taking it all in what I just listened to. Wow. I actually feel quite happy that the songs, transitioned into each other, because I don't know, I feel like I got to experience the whole album at once rather than keep stopping and starting it. And even though, like, there's so many things that I want to say about the album, I feel as though I've retained the information pretty well in my head. Let's go back to Pigs, first of all, 3 different ones. I thought that the pigs oinking, or whatever you want to call that, in the background really added sort of an extra layer to the song. I mean, of course, yes, Pigs is the name of the song, so, you might be expecting pigs to be there, or you might be expecting just the word pig to be said. But I felt as though at one point, again, this mechanism had been used to sort of alter the sound of the pigs, if that makes sense. And from my personal perspective of this song to me, especially with the title being Pigs, 3 different ones, feels as though it's Pink Floyd talking about either 3 different politicians or just 3 different authority figures. That's kind of how I have perceived the song as being. I don't necessarily have something to say, like, very individually about each of the lyrics, but something I did notice is, again, like I say, with it being 3 different ones, it felt as though there was something mentioned about one pig, and then a full guitar solo, then something mentioned about another pig, guitar solo, and then pig 3, and I thought that was really cool because it sort of broke it up. And I really liked this line of, haha, charade you are, because it made me think of how it's almost as though politicians are just trying to act and do and say all the things that you want them to say, and then they just proceed to not do any of that. So to me, the charade you are thing is a sort of a representation of the act and the dishonesty that sort of goes on in politics. Let's have a look what Spotify has to say though. In the live performances of this song, Roger Waters often added his signature screams throughout the song, enhancing its intense and confrontational atmosphere. Oh, I might have to listen to that live, because that would be so good to listen to. Yeah, this was just so good. I mean, just the instrumentation, this is not just this song, but the instrumentation in all of these songs is just insane. I loved the organs in there. The song's 3rd verse directly calls out Mary Whitehouse, a British morality campaigner known for her conservative views. Roger Waters described her as a house-proud town mouse who tries to keep it all on the inside, critiquing her efforts to suppress what she deemed immoral content in media. Okay, this fact here is actually kind of sad, but when performing this song live, Roger Waters in the 1977 tour would shout a different number at each concert. It was reportedly a tactic to identify bootleg recordings of their shows. That's kind of sad, honestly. So during the recording of this song, David Gilmour experimented with a talk box to create the song's distinctive pig-like sounds. This was the first time Pink Floyd used a talk box, adding a unique texture to the track. That's so cool. I'm curious as to who this lady is. Mary Whitehouse, a British moral campaigner. Let's have a little quick Google search. Mary Whitehouse was a highly influential and controversial British social campaigner. She had conservative views on the LGBTQ plus community. Yeah. That's not very good. Oh, and feminism. Oh, great. Oh, Jesus. I mean, I guess this part is good, but it's just a shame that it came with conservative views on the queer community and feminism. That really sucks. Okay, moving into the song Sheep. To me, Sheep was literally just instinctually a direct representation of calling out society and asking everybody, why are we all just sheeps for? Like, why do we listen to these authority figures and think, oh yeah, what they say, everything has to go, you know? The government would never do that to us. They would. And I think it's sort of Pink Floyd's way of calling out people and been like, hey, look, listen, knock, 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 even on your brain a little bit of a knock there, and been like, hey, don't believe everything that these politicians tell you, and also don't just blindly follow what they say, because most of it is just to capitalize on and make you think, oh, I'm gonna vote for them because they said this. And I feel like I think it's so sad, honestly, that so many of the political issues back then are still relevant, like literally like 50 years later. Like, what the hell? I mean, it's like at the moment, the whole political parties in England, you know, there's certain parties which are trying to capitalise on their main big propaganda thing, but then they're completely hiding the fact of their other motives, such as trying to get rid of the Equality Act so that, you know, women would be paid less, or just the fact that if you're part of the LGBTQ plus community, or if you're a person of a different race, like, you just wouldn't be protected under things anymore. And I just think it's crazy that people are voting for this party because they just have one standout thing that people believe, even though that in itself is not true. Yeah, anyway, you can, yeah, politics, eh? Yeah, it just frustrates me because it's just like people see this one big selling point, which to me isn't even a selling point anyways, but, you know, people see it, they think, oh, I'm going to vote for them, but then they don't actually know what they're voting for. I think that's the representation that I took from this song. Kind of got into a bit of a political rant there, didn't I? So apparently this song started out as a completely different song called Ravin' and Droolin' back in 1974. Pink Floyd performed it live with different lyrics and a more jam-based feel. It wasn't until they were working on the Animals album that they reworked it into the version we know today. Yeah, this whole album felt really, like, groovy, and, like, it used their jam. I felt like I was jamming to this album. In Sheep, there's a line that goes, I've looked over Jordan, and I have seen, things are not what they seem. This is a nod to the old spiritual, swing low, sweet chariot, but here it's used to show the sheep realising their grim reality, that they're not just peacefully grazing, they're being led to slaughter. Also, that actually reminded me, another thing that was said in this, I don't actually know where it is, but there was a lyric that made me think about, I want to find it now. Aha, this whole bit here, what a surprise, a look of terminal shock in your eyes, now things are really what they seem, no, this is not a bad dream. This made me think of a lot of the stuff I've heard in the political space right now, of people voting for a certain party and then really regretting voting for that party. There's a part in Sheep where they sneak in a twisted version of Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd one. Instead of comforting lines, it goes, with bright knives he releaseth my soul, he maketh me to hang on hooks in high places. It's a dark twist that really drives home the song's theme of blind obedience leading to slaughter. The song kicks off with the sound of actual sheep and a mellow Fender Rhodes piano solo by Richard Wright. It's all calm and pastoral at first, but then the drums and bass kick in and you realise things aren't peacefully as they seem. I love the fact that English, that Pink Floyd talk politics in their music. Like, this is something that I love about Pink Floyd, I've loved about Radiohead, even Jeff Buckley, all people who have managed to talk about their political views in music. Is something that I've been trying to do, but I find it quite hard. But I suppose the more that I listen to albums like this, and the more that I engage in this kind of media, the more that I'll probably be able to think of my own things to say. Okay, so Pigs on the Wing 2, we're not going to really talk about because it's just a lead on from Pigs on the Wing 1, so they kind of talk about the same things in them. Honestly, what a listening experience that was. I'm kind of blown away by the things I've listened to, the information behind it all makes me really just in awe of everything. And again, Pink Floyd's creativity is just sort of on a next level. I mean, I've had a lot of people comment this, and I have to really, really agree with it. And it's something that in particular blows my mind, is if you think of how cool some of the effects are that they do, think about how hard it would have been all the way back in the 70s to be able to pull the things off that they do. Like nowadays, most of the stuff, if you have anything such as Logic or Ableton or any amount of other music producing programs, it's very easy to just pull a sound up and create it. Whereas back when obviously these albums were made, it was not as easy as that. And if you think like, oh wow, that's cool, like I feel like times that by 100 and that's actually how cool it is. I am gonna leave the video here. If you did make it all the way to the end, I want you to comment, Amy, do you drink all that? Because I've had people ask me if I actually drink all of this before, and the answer is yes. I try and drink 2 litres a day. Just a quick one before I do end the video. I do actually have a Patreon. In my Patreon, there's a bunch of unreleased stuff over there, so stuff that you do not get to see on YouTube. I do a lot of live reactions. I've even got some specific album reactions over there, which I haven't listened to on my main channel. My Patreon is a whole host of fun. You even get these videos a whole day early, which I really enjoy being able to provide that for you guys. Also, if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you want to get your friends into Pink Floyd, feel free to send them over this video too. Without further ado guys, this was Animals by Pink Floyd.